Have you noticed that the exploitation of the African continent is not the worst thing that happened to us? Have you noticed that the colonization of our land and the robbery of our resources was not the worst thing that happened to us? Last week I taught you and I told you they stole my television, installed my television in their houses and asked me to come and pay and watch it in their home. How painful it is. But yet, that's not the worst thing that happened to us. Akebulen, the worst thing that happened to us is that our minds were conditioned. Our minds were also colonized. That is why Africa is fighting a psychological battle. Pay attention. Have you noticed that Africans were conditioned to doubt value when it comes from home? In as much as our resources were taken, we were conditioned not to believe, but to doubt that which was left of us. Pay attention, Akebulen, so you can learn the painful truth this morning before you go to your respective workplace. Think about it. You see, you can give an African a phone made in China. He looks at it. What he sees is innovation. You give him a car made in Germany. What he sees is technology. You take him to university in Europe and America. He calls it world class. But immediately, an African produces something extraordinary and show fellow Africans. The first thing an African will ask, is it really good? What is your qualification? How dare you have the audacity to do this and call it world class? That is why our battle is not just economical, it is psychological. That is why Kwame Nkrumah said that we may solve the issues of economy, but the issues of mental colonization will take us a long time to solve. Akebulen, have you heard of the story of the furniture maker in Nigeria, in the street of Aba, who makes furniture and one day goes into the house of a king? The king begins to show him classic chair he bought from America. The furniture maker looked at the king and said, this chair was made by me right here in Aba. The king was furious and said, how dare you? A chair that I bought in the street of New York. The furniture maker said, king, if you can give me latitude and permission and we open this chair, I can show you my trademark. The king said, if you open this chair and your trademark is nowhere to be found, you will go to jail. The man agreed. They opened the chair. Lo and behold, the man's trademark was on that chair. There, on that wood. The king was perplexed and said, how come your chair can be bought in America? The furniture maker replied and said, when we make these chairs and place it in the street of Aba, you all call it local and primitive. And so we take it from this place, find a way to export it to America and Europe, so you go there and buy it as something conspicuous. Akebulen, that story portrays the pain and the agony that our minds have been conditioned not to value what comes from home. That must end. Africans will begin to respect African ideas before it is given a foreign name. We must begin not just to export our raw materials, but build industries and factories to manufacture what we have. We must stop consuming just knowledge and then produce our own knowledge. Our professors in the university must begin to quote themselves, prophesy, and stop quoting only Eurocentric scholars. Have pride in yourself. We must stop raising children whose only dream is to leave the continent. We must raise children whose dream is to build a continent. Because the next generation of Africa will not complain only that our television was stolen. They will take back the television, and most especially, they will think of building something that can never be stolen from us. Because the greatness of Africa will not rely on how the world sees us. Because we cannot build this continent while seeking validation from other civilizations constantly. No, the world will respect us when we start seeing value in ourselves. Put some respect in your name. Remember who you are. You are greatness. That is why they looked at you and called you Akebulen, the cradle of civilization. Own it. It is who you are. And that is why I'm taking books to schools. And I'm calling on you from wherever you are in the continent, if you think you can do what I do, going to schools and teaching children, I have prepared a syllable where we can teach them pride again. Just message me using the WhatsApp number in my bio. Tell me, Tankraya, I want to teach like you. I will train you and give you our syllable so you can go to schools and teach, spread the gospel, and redeem the continent, the home of our fathers. Akebulan, thank you so much for all of you who contribute to Modern Day Tankraya Book Distribution Foundation. You are the true heroes of the continent. We will always remember. Akebulan, we will always remember. My documentary on my YouTube is coming soon. Make sure you are part of my YouTube subscribers. I love you. I don't take you for granted. The continent will remember that in a time like this, some men and women refuse to take the story they were sold to. Akebulan, wisdom is the principal thing. Hiya,